Well, Frank, the big story from the Gators this past weekend was DJ Lagway and his explosive offense. I think Gators fans, you can have a smile on your face going into this week because what we saw from the Gators is really promising for the future, especially for the future quarterback.
Boy, did Gator fans need something to feel good about. I know it was just Samford. I know you weren't playing a great team. I think everybody knows that. But boy, did they need something to feel good about. And DJ Lagway played really well. It's not just the opponent. Forget the opponent for a second. You saw touch on deep passes. You saw him look off receivers. You saw him run when he had to. He's got a big arm. I'm a big Graham Mertz fan, but he doesn't have DJ Lagway's athletic skills, arm strength. Boy, the Gators needed that. A Gator program that's in a bad way now. It's in a bad way. Are they going to fire the coach? Are they not going to fire the coach? How long does he last? You needed something to feel good about it, at least for 1 week. Again, forget the opponent. Doesn't matter who the opponent was. He played really well, and he looked the part, no question about it.
I think the one thing, like you said, forget about the opponent, but they needed that confidence boost. The Gators are down real bad, and I think that win, especially with a freshman quarterback, they helped them going into, hopefully, gave them a little confidence boost going into SEC play.
Well, here's the big thing. Here's what you're going to hear talk. Here's the talker all week long. Should they go back to Graham Mertz if he's cleared, which I think he's going to be, or do they play DJ Lagway? I'm a big Mertz fan. I think Mertz is a good Gator. I think he's earned his stripes with Gator Nation. He's a great leader. He's a great teammate. And my guess is Billy Napier's going to go back to him, whether he admits that or not. I think that's how old school coaches are. Nobody loses their job because of an injury, and Graham's deserved it. I get that. I would start DJ Lagway. I think Lagway gives you some energy. I think it's a program that needs energy. I think he can do things Graham cannot do. He's going to make more mistakes than Graham, but I would play the freshman. That's how I would play it if I was Billy Napier. It'll be interesting to see, but it's a tough dilemma because Graham did nothing to lose that job. He's been a good player the whole time he's been there, but you got something special in the freshman, you really do.
We mentioned this in the first answer about Billy Napier, and the question surrounding him all season is going to be, does he keep his job or does he not keep his job? The way that DJ Lagway played, again, not an opponent that you really want to, that you really care about, but the way that DJ played, the way that the offense played, do you think that helps Billy Napier's chances of keeping his job?
Well, that's the question. You hit it. That's the question, Alessandra. It's the only chance I think he's got, and just being realistic, and I'm not a fire the coach guy, but you can hear enough of it in the tea leaves now, or see enough of it in the tea leaves. I think you don't play DJ Lagway to keep your job. That would be irresponsible, and Billy would never do that for that reason. But you play DJ Lagway because he gives you the best chance to win. The only chance I think Billy Napier has to keep that job is if Lagway is all the rage, if he's as good as it looks like he is, and all of a sudden you look up and you're 3-1 or 4-1 because of DJ Lagway, and everybody knows if you fire Napier, you're probably going to lose him, because one of those Texas schools is going to offer up $8 to $10 million over 4 years, and because that's what happens in college football today. And he's from Texas, and he's really close to Billy Napier. So I think the only chance Billy has is if DJ Lagway plays. To be clear, Billy's not going to play him for that reason. He's going to do what he thinks is the right thing, but I think that's his only hope.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Let's talk about the Seminoles. They're coming off their bye week, 0-2. They're hunting for their first win, and they are going to be hosting Memphis this weekend.
Yeah, and look, Memphis isn't bad. They've won 2 games. A lot of people think Memphis is the group of 5 team that's going to make the playoffs. They've scored. They can throw it all over the place. They've got a coach that's from here in Jacksonville that would love to come back to this state and win. This is not going to be easy for the Seminoles. That's going to be a hard game. Memphis can throw it. FSU hasn't faced a passing quarterback yet. Georgia Tech and Boston College had good running quarterbacks. FSU's got to find something. Boy, that off week was really important for Mike Norvell because you got to find a way to beat. Suddenly, this was an easy win in August when we looked at it. Now it's not. This is going to be a hard game for FSU. I think FSU's going to win this game. They'll find a way. They've got more good players than Memphis, but this one is not going to be easy. Tough third game for a team that's 0-2.
And let's talk about Mike Norvell used to coach at Memphis, left there for FSU. So I wonder if there's a little bit extra motivation for Mike Norvell to beat his former team, but also for Memphis to beat their former coach. I got to ask you about DJU, though. Obviously, 2 not good games.
Right.
Do you think that we may see a change at quarterback? I mean, I know DJ's the QB1, but he hasn't done anything.
I don't think that's a great question, Alessandra. I don't think there's anybody left to play or ready to play. Brock Glenn is a young player, better runner than thrower. We saw him a little bit last year. Luke Kromenhoek, the freshman, is going to be a very good player. He's a highly regarded signee. I don't think either one of them are ready. DJ Uiagalelei has got to be your quarterback, and I don't know that he can carry you. He's a game manager. He's physical. He's a big, strong guy. He's really well respected. He's a smart guy. but I don't know that he can carry you. And that defensive line's got to play better so you're not playing from behind. If you get a little bit of a lead, I think DJU's okay. But I think he's got to be your quarterback because I don't think you've got anybody else ready.
I think one question that probably some fans want to know is, you know, we saw what DJ Lagway was able to do for the Gators this past weekend. Do you think that maybe if you just throw Luke into the mix that he could have a good game? Again, it's Memphis. It's not a huge, big-time opponent for FSU.
Here's the difference as I see it. They've been getting DJ Lagway, the Gators have been getting him ready to play. I don't think FSU's been getting Luke ready to play. Now, maybe they have and we just don't know it. But I don't sense that, at least until now, maybe in the off week, they might have done that. Is he ahead of Brock Glenn, the other backup? We don't know that or not. But you're right. He came in with the same class that DJ did. He was highly regarded, just like DJ Lagway was. Can you get him ready to play? I don't sense he's ready to play. I think it's still DJU's team, at least for now.
Yeah, and I do agree with that, too. Let's talk about our final team, the Georgia Bulldogs, #1 in the AP poll once again. They're going to Kentucky to start SEC play. One thing Kirby Smart said this past week, and he was like, you don't have, I mean, yes, for the #1 team, but don't count out the Wildcats, especially when you're on the road at Kentucky.
The problem is Kentucky has fallen way off. South Carolina went into Lexington, a team that Kentucky's been better than. They kind of rose faster than South Carolina did. Beat them 31-6, and I watched a lot of that game. Kentucky wasn't very good in that game. They got Brock Vandagriff, the former Georgia quarterback, so there's some emotion there, but they didn't do very much on offense. Kentucky's not nearly as good as they have been. I think it's an easy one for the Bulldogs.
Next week, Georgia goes to Alabama. That's going to be their biggest test this season. Do you think because Georgia has had just easy games and probably will have an easy game against Kentucky this weekend that they'll be ready for the big test against Alabama? They are the #4 team in the nation. Yeah,
I think they're better than Alabama. And Alabama wasn't so good the other day either. They beat USF. They pulled away at the end. They won 42 to whatever. But that game was 14-13 late in the third quarter. So Alabama's got some work to do as well. I think Georgia's significantly better. I think they're better than everybody in the SEC. Texas, by the way, is very good. It might come down to Georgia and Texas, but I think Georgia's going to sail for a while.
Yeah, that was a big win for Texas over Michigan. They really look good. Frank, thank you so much. And that's your look at Campus Corner.